Rally of the Test, it's got a bit of everything. It's got navigation, it's got map work, it's got trickery in every form going that you can get in historic rallying.
In 2016, we see the RAC return to its motorsport roots when the organisation puts its name to the Rally of the Test. Not since 1960 has the RAC been associated with a rally event.
It's the best event in the UK, I think. It's very intense, but it's not so long that it really takes it out of you.
Yeah, well, normally we are Bentley Belts, two of us, we are here. Normally we drive and race Bentleys and other cars. So, yeah, it's a serious rally.
Serious?
Yeah.
The camaraderie, the nice variety of cars, the types of tests, the endurance, the organisation, just everything. It's just lovely.
The now renamed RAC Rally of the Test is the 7th round of the 2016 Hero Cup and would be run over 3.5 days and 750 miles and is classed in the expert category for experienced crews. This year's route would comprise of 31 tests and 20 regularities and take us from Bournemouth to Devon, back to Bristol for an overnight stop briefly into Wales, then up to the Potteries before heading south again for the finish in what has become a name synonymous with rallying, the historic town of Chester. Sitting on top of the Hero Cup Championship standings for drivers by a narrow margin remains Stephen Owens, ahead of Steve Robertson and Paul Crosby. The Golden Roma for navigators was led by Andrew Durden, ahead of Andy Pullen and Julia Robertson. The South Coast seaside town dawned cold and crisp. Crews began arriving for the traditional formalities of signing on and scrutineering. For the crews, this was also their first chance to study the route.
Rally of the Test to me was my first regularity rally, so in some ways that's what makes it so important to me, but I think I can speak for everyone or all the navigators in saying that this is the one that you want to win.
The event would attract a wide variety of machinery in 10 different classes. The classes being differentiated by age and engine size, with 40 of the 99 cars eligible for points in the overall awards.
It's a 1965 2-litre 911 and I've won in it in the Isle of Man in 2012, but Howard's won loads of rallies in it. I've never done this event before. Everyone raves about this, so I'll give it a whirl, even though I don't like the dark bits.
I'm in a really lovely car actually. It's an ex-works Austin Healey. It did the RAC Rally, which is why I brought it. It did the RAC Rally in 1964 with Timo Mäkinen and Don Barrow. They came second. And Paddy Hopkirk, who I believe we're seeing tomorrow, Paddy Hopkirk also rallied the same car in the 60s. And it's a special thing because it's never ever been restored. So it's totally original. It's exactly as it was rallied in the 1960s. So I have a little bit of responsibility to look after it, be careful with it and not put it in a hedge.
This particular car has electronic power steering, which we can't use in the UK, but as Peter's just said, that he disconnects it for this event.
On an event with such a lot of night driving, the correct additional spotlights would be essential. However, new rules meant a last-minute dash for many to the local shops, although some just managed to scrape through.
This is a wind-up.
That's a brilliant one. Well, I was told that my spotlights were too big. I think I'm not the only one who's in the same position.
The maximum is 17 centimetres and these are just a fraction over, so we've had to go and buy some new lights. So there we are, it's all in a day's work.
Meanwhile, Hero Cup Championship leader Stephen Owens was becoming concerned by some early mechanical gremlins.
Well, it's going now. We've had a little bit of trouble with regard to the brand, setting up the Speedo brand, so it's affected by an impulse coming from somewhere in the car. I think Peter's traced the impulse. We've put a new distributor top on, so we're just going to go out and try it now. So with a little bit of luck, fingers crossed, and we've got a check on the Speedo.
Also entered into the event was the beautiful Bentley Supersports of Ace Bentley restorer William Metcalf, who took an alternative approach to warning signals.
Now I couldn't get a warning triangle.
I've got one.
I couldn't get your warning triangle. Went on the internet and everything. Didn't have any. But so I got you something else. Got you one of these. You got a bit of a smoky problem.
Love it.
It's gonna fill up.
I heard there's a lot of tin tops playing, but we thought we'd better bring something a bit prehistoric to see how we get on against them.
Is this the most suitable car?
Absolutely. It's the best car, and it's got perfect. It's got a lovely weather equipment, as you can see. It's got a windscreen. It's always useful. Goes and stops. Got lights. What else do you need? The usual first evening nerves, but once we get into it, I'm sure it'll be okay. Magic Go-Go Juice, the very finest octane booster. Everyone should be using this. We're off. Have fun, see you later.
The event would begin with a modest 2-hour prologue to get everyone warmed up for the main event, but Stephen Owens was in pensive mood.
This is the start of, I think, the next 2 events, which are going to be very important in the championship. So we're just hoping that things are going to materialise and go well. The car's running very well, and I'm eager to get started.
Bournemouth Town Centre Winter Gardens placed host to Test 1.
We're going to win.
Oh, that's pretty brash.
We're not going to come last.
It's like making it to the start.
An eager crowd had gathered to witness full-blown rally cars negotiate the duck ponds and flower beds. It was then out of town for another test and a regularity before back to the hotel for dinner and a pint. The prologue had clearly been a challenge for some of the crews and their cars.
Yeah, dropped my pencil at the start of the first regularity, that was it. We'd have been going home at that point.
We had a stall in the first test, and then a bit scrappy in most of the regularity.
We overshot one of the timing points, so we picked up about 20-30 seconds on that.
A bit slippy, but tight, but a good test into a very tricky regularity.
Exhaust blowing a gale. We can't hear anything, which is not a bad thing when you're with Ben Cousins, actually, to be honest. Ben wants it fixing so he can listen to me. I don't want it fixing because I don't want to listen to him.
Suffering early mechanicals were Bob and Sue McLean, whose Ford Anglia refused to leave Bournemouth with a seized engine.
Drove up to the start of the regularity, just waiting to start. Crofton spluttered a bit, engine stalled.
I'd had no indication, had good oil pressure, wasn't overheating, so then I tried to turn it on the crankshaft and it's just solid, absolutely solid. So that's us out, unfortunately.
How did that go?
Well, we were pretty shit.
It's a bit of a shambles.
Yeah.
At the end of the prologue, the overall leaderboard will have Noel Kenny and Pete Johnson sitting on top, Paul Crosby and Andy Pullin second, and Peter Nack-de-Boren and Bart Den Hartog in third. But this was early days, and anything could happen over the next 3 days of intense competition. Friday morning saw the start of the 3-day epic.
It starts in earnest today, good long day, finishing up in Bristol tonight.
Thankfully, the boys from the RAC were on hand to make sure everyone made the start.
Let's try it again.
The prologue had proved the days ahead would keep the crews on their toes.
There's a lot of, I wouldn't call them tricks, but a lot of things that we had to be much more watchful for than we were last night. We weren't particularly sharp, but it's quite an interesting indication of how the rest of the rally's going to go.
Due to an excellent run in the prologue the night before, first out of the blocks would be overnight leaders Pete Johnson and Noel Kelly.
That was just a smooth run, really. 2 tests we did well, and the regularity we were pretty good bang on it.
Thanks,
yeah, guys, have fun.
A long day today, 13 hours, so just the start. Just what we need.
Leaving Bournemouth and heading west, the first test of the day would be at the Bovington Army Camp, then on to Cerne Abbas, and the third of the test of the day at the Clay Pigeon Kart Circuit. By now, the heavens had opened, and it was wellies weather.
5, 4, 3, 2,
The crew's then headed for the Quantock Hills and the first of the day's regularities.
10 seconds.
Yeah, not too bad, a bit eventful. Had a flat tyre already this morning, puncture. But other than that, been okay.
One day in, and the RAC Rally of the Test marches on through a wet Somerset. Cricket St Thomas, the TV setting for To the Manor Born, made an ideal brief coffee stop before starting regularity 2 while still in the grounds.
3, 2, 1, away!
Heading out into an area familiar to previous RAC rallies, the route winds around the fringes of Exmoor. One crew enjoying a so far clean run was Seren and Elise White in their tiny Standard 10. The sisters displayed a consistency that should stand them in good stead at the finish. Still smiling, but a little wet, was Stuart Anderson and Catriona Rings in one of the few open-top cars of Bentley Derby.
Thank you, bye.
Championship leader Stephen Owens was still soldiering on, even with a host of issues.
We've Mr. Control. I've got a car that I'm getting overtaken by HGVs going uphill. I've got a really poorly car and things are not going well.
The route takes us through North Devon and past Dunster Castle before the test on Porlock Hill Toll Road. Followed by some wheel home cooking as supplied by the fine Porlock ladies. While lunch was being served, Ryan Pickering seemed to be getting his knickers in a twist, but demonstrating great generosity and sportsmanship. His rival navigators were getting him even more confused.
Found the route I plotted and found them coming back towards us.
Why had you done the same thing? Well, what were you coming?
Well, they got up there and thought it's that one back there. So
yeah, we thought we'd gone down the wrong road, got to the end of it, found there wasn't an idiot board at the end, and thought, no, this can't be the right road, it must be the other one.
The wide open moors beckoned with 2 regularities over Exmoor and Bampton Down. Time for a quick pit stop.
Super excellent, yeah. We've seen almost half England because we missed, I think, 5 times the way, but it's big fun, yeah.
It's going very well, much better today.
Nice scenery.
We was going up the hill the other side and she started missing a little bit. She should have enough fuel in her, but I thought I'd just better double check.
Tests have been okay. I think I'm up there with the fastest ones. And with 2 days to go, you know, who knows?
A quick break to refuel the crews before the night section, and Paul Crosby was more upbeat despite mechanical gremlins with his Porsche 356.
It's got better for us. So we've had some clean runs, and the car's still running on 3 cylinders, which isn't very helpful, but we've had some good regularities and stuff now.
Listening to everybody else, everyone's been having some fun. So you know, you don't know how you've done until you see how other people have done.
One bad timing point, but for the rest they were quite good.
Any dramas?
No dramas today. We'll leave that for tomorrow night, I think.
It's just a big night section to go now.
Leaving Devon, the last regularity of day 1 would be a marathon. It would include 10 timing points and last over an hour in the Somerset lanes, and takes the cruise through countryside and cowsheds. Car 52 were not the only crew to miss the entrance to the farmyard. Although Andy Pullin spotted it straight away, Ryan Pickering by now had regained his sense of direction, guiding Chaz Coulton to the milking parlour. The day's work done, and the overnight stop in Bristol was a welcome rest.
It was a tough 13, nearly 14 hours of driving, rallying on the beloved hero rally of the tests, and this evening driving into the dark, watching the little red lights of the Monnets and the Howders in the cars in front, and the headlights drifting off into the distance as the temperature dropped. All good fun. Really magical.
But for some, the day had been a trial.
Well, it's been a long and difficult day, but we got it sorted out. The mechanics did a fabulous job, as they always do. What an incredible bunch of people. Where would we be without the mechanics? They They did a great job. They got us back on the road again, kept us going, and we're back in the event. So all's well, hopefully for tomorrow.
We have a noise coming out of the back as we pull away from a junction, and it looks like it's the diff. So Peter, the genius, as he always is investigating it, and we can just keep our fingers crossed.
Mixed, I suppose. Some good bits and some bad bits, but great fun. Enjoyed it a lot.
Look, got clean hands. Driving a Mini for a day and a half, and we've got clean hands. Something's going to go wrong.
There you go. Do you hear my co-driver?
Well, we've had a good day up until the last regularity. We made a bit of a mess of the first farmyards, which cost us a little bit of time, but we got it all after them. We've got everything. We've been everywhere in the right order, so that's one good thing. We'll see what it brings tomorrow.
As day one draws to a close, sitting on top spot in the overall class are John Abel and Martin Taylor, just ahead of Peter Nack-de-Boren and Bart den Hartog, with father and son John and Peter Dignam third. Day 2 kicked off with a ceremonial start in the grounds of the iconic RAC HQ building in Bristol. Rallying royalty Paddy Hopko was on hand to flag the cruise off and straight into the first test.
Well, I'm very honoured to be here. It certainly brings back a lot of memories. The original RAC Rally of Great Britain was a great event. I finished second in it once to Eric Carlson, I think, and I was very pleased about that. Now here I am back as an old guy waving them away, and it's great to see the enthusiasm. My goodness, I think the classic cars is getting more publicity and more interest than the modern WRC rally.
Current leader John Abel was surprised to be in top spot.
Yeah, nobody more surprised than us yesterday. We couldn't believe how we just moved up, but we didn't get any traffic. We had a lucky day, no problems really. So I think that was it. We didn't make any big mistakes, and here we are.
Good fun.
Fingers crossed for a good day today and pull up a few better places.
Where are you laying at the moment then?
We're around about 70th.
Oh.
Yes. Oh.
A bit up and down, a lot of traffic. We're away.
Must be mad. Hello.
How are you? Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, you must be nuts.
Thought we'd give these tin tops a run for their money.
Leaving Bristol, the crews made their way into Wales for a test at Washingpool Farm and 2 tests at Chepstow Racecourse. As the weather started to brighten, a close battle developed between Patrick and Hubert Lynch and Clive and Angie Martin for quickest on the first test.
Lightning ties are holding ground. Get a wind rush high in the backseat, girl, with a soft top down, gonna ride you round and round. I'm like a hot-bound dart from a crossbow, babe, and I eat up roads alive. I'm a real mean mother in a stitch, overdrive, stuck in old.
The Chepstow test dealt with, and it was straight into the first regularity of the day, heading north through the Monmouthshire lanes. First pit stop of the day was at Western Cider in Muchmarkle.
I think we've had a pretty clean morning. We've had 2 regs where we got through unscathed, but it's the next regularity that sort of concerns me with D-Larity, which is not my particular favourite type of navigation.
We'll see what this next one brings. It looks like it's going to be a little bit challenging with the route instructions, so can't quite get it on the map, which is a bit disappointing, but yeah, we'll see.
Thanks very much. See you later.
In some respects, you might be better using that for that bit.
See that bit? Yeah, okay, cool.
But you basically, the existing road will go around the left of the barn.
Yeah.
And that road goes around the right.
Right, okay, yeah, cool, understood.
A little bit sniffy this morning. We missed a turning and dropped a bit of time.
We were running overnight 14th overall, 8th out of the pre-62 cars, and first in class. But there's 2 days to go. Anything can happen.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck. Cheers.
A familiar face turned up to help out, ace lady navigator Trina Harley.
I know, it's nice to put something back into the sport.
Lot to do today.
Another regularity, and on through the Malvern Hills and across the Severn Valley, brings us to a set of tests familiar to many competitors, Throgmorton Airfield. To give the drivers a little exercise, a Le Mans start was added to the competition.
Fast tests were really good, the ones where you could really gun it and you could slide it around, and that's super.
A great motorsport enthusiast favourite, Chateau Impney, was the venue for Test 3, the traditional hill climb playing centre stage.
2, 1, go!
Conditions are great, it's dry, the leaves on the trees are coming off, makes it a bit slippy at times, unpredictable.
Paul Bloksic and Thomas Divagos Machuca were amongst the leaders slugging it out for King of the Chateau.
Good morning, I mean there's some fantastic tests. I mean we're lucky to have a Porsche, and the airfield and yeah, the test today have been really quite Porsche friendly.
Fantastic. Actually, we didn't miss any cone. We were sliding, drifting. It looked it felt like that. So it was good. It was good. We don't have the boogie time, but we're close.
Thank you.
a long way off Martin and John Abel at the moment. So, and then we've got Ian and Howard catching us up very fast behind. They're a bit too close for comfort, so try and keep them at bay this afternoon.
We just set the fastest time of the day on one of the tests. We just took out 99 competitors. What was it called? On your toes. On your toes. Fantastic test, and we nailed them. Come on!
We're doing a lot better today than we did yesterday, so yeah, we've had a pretty decent morning, to be honest.
I think the head gasket's gone, but we've put something in to seal it and just hoping for the best.
Handbrake's not working. It's quite important. Very handy for going around pylons.
The crews then headed to Tedstone for another reg before arriving at another iconic motorsport venue. Shelsley Walsh Hill Climb was to play host to everyone's favourite blast up the hill. Famed Formula One commentator Bob Constanduros had paid a visit to admire the machinery.
So I love classic cars, absolutely adore it. I've got a couple of associates who are taking part, so just came to have a look. And I haven't been to Shelsley Walsh for so long, I had to obviously come to Shelsley at some stage just to see the place again. You know, I think it takes people back. You know, it takes people back to their youth, the cars that they used to drive, that they used to travel with their parents in.
It gets smoother. We arrive rusty and all over the place, and eventually by the end of the thing we're wishing we had another day.
Or another 20 days.
Yeah.
So you can really get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, I think we might have peaked.
I know.
And as the light fades for the final few competitors, we leave Shelsley Walsh for another year and head off into the dark for the gruelling night sections.
Yeah, so it's been a good day so far today. All been really good regs and good tests, so continuing to evening and be very happy.
In preparation for the night test, the crews take a quick pit stop of their own in Bonningale.
Can't beat the Yorkshire tea.
No. Even for experienced competitors, the navigation was proving tricky.
Did you get the Liam straight away? The what?
The
Liam.
Bloody competitive, because on the test, if you're late in the gear shift or you brake a little too early, you're dropping a second to the guys in your class, which is great on the other side. So yeah, pressure's on.
Being bonfire night, the crews were treated to some firework displays before experiencing their own fireworks in the Swinnerton test. Held on Ministry of Defence's land, cameras weren't allowed in, just as well with some of the driving. As the cars limped into the evening halt, it was clear the going had been tough.
We slid off slightly into a curb, so we may have damaged the front, but this had gone loose beforehand. The back axle was starting to move on the shackles. We've had all the controls, that's all that matters.
That's what you call bumpy.
Are your window fell out?
Yeah. Proper engineering, how's that?
It was quite a day. We had a lot of fun, especially the late stage this evening at Swinnerton. It went okay. And
But
I
it's
hope
crazy. We should have gone faster. Oh my god. That was brutal, wasn't it? We got lost quite a lot. That's the problem.
The engine's trying to fall out. The engine mounting became disconnected from the engine, and therefore the exhaust pipe and manifold were doing their best to hold the engine in but failed.
A welcome rest, giving the top teams time to reflect on another competitive day.
Didn't really have a best of evenings for us. There was a Jogularity ran a big pig farm where we managed to get a bit lost. So I think that's dropped us way out of contention now.
Just lost a couple of minutes there, so we think we've probably dropped down, lost our lead. But you know, tomorrow's another day.
I think the positions will all change quite a bit by the end of the night.
At the end of day 2, Peter Nackdeboren and Bart den Hartog had snatched the lead ahead of Andy Lane and Richard Crozier, with Crosby and Pullen in third.
Reading through Mr. Woodcock's summary to see what he has in store for us, see if there's any little clues in the text there, but I don't think so.
The third and final day, dawn cold and bright, the boys from the RAC have been kept busy.
Punches this morning, toe starts, all sorts. Busy.
Still above max. The fan belt's good. Evans coolant doesn't need touching. Brake fluid hasn't changed. All looks good.
Some of the crews have picked up some interesting souvenirs from the night before.
And a 303 shell cartridge in a tyre, so we've just had to have a tyre change. And then my enthusiastic young navigator revved the engine with the oil coal. He didn't know any different, and so we've just blown the oil filter up. I won't give him a hard time. As long as he keeps me on track today.
We're having a great run. We're 5 seconds behind the class leader at the minute, so we'll do our best today. We thought we'd drop from 3rd to around 10th. We're actually 5th because the rest of the evening went okay. So you never give up, that's the answer, I think.
Come to the car this morning, the start motor's died though, so it's going to be a trying day I think. But the car's running, it starts with a push, so it's got monster hills to park.
The final push to the line would be tight, the top 8 places covered by just a minute.
Yeah, I'm surprised how tight it is. I thought it would be a much bigger gap than that. But it seems everybody picked up lots of penalties, so still an interesting situation.
Amazingly, we're in 3rd position overall, which never imagined we would be in that position. So a bit of pressure now for the last 8.
There's lots to do today, 190 odd miles, and there's lots of tests, lots of regs, and I'm sure maybe some things to catch us out at the end, so have to keep on it right till the final whistle, as they say.
The day's action would kick off with tests on the Bamford estate, home to the JCB empire. A few tight hairpins were proving tricky. cross-country drive would then take the cruise via Blithfield Reservoir and Cannock Chase to Teddesley Park and on to the coffee stop at Worston. Sunday morning was proving hectic with another auto test at the Market Drayton Cattle Market.
It's tough. It's much tougher than Dick and I imagined. But hey, we're still in it and we're enjoying it. And we're just still in it and we're enjoying it. So yeah, we've got to keep going.
For yet another regularity on the farm tracks around Moston.
Going well so far, yeah. All to play for, as you say. Nothing left. It could change at any moment.
A two-lap sprint around the car track at Rednall, where some wheel-to-wheel action kept the crowds entertained before heading across the border into Wales.
Shape I'm in, I know it's really starting to bug you. I've been around so many times before, but all I wanna do is to hug you. Yes, it's true, all I do is for you. You make me feel a better shade of blue. All I do is for you. You make me feel a better shade of blue. A shade of blue. You make me feel a better shade of blue.
The final lunch halt of the event at the White Waters Hotel was to prove as tricky as any test for John Miles when a faulty handbrake sent his unmanned car over the edge. It was also time to catch up with the front runners.
There's a lot more that can go wrong or go right, whichever way you look at it. So yeah, it's anyone's. I mean, I think there are 5 possible crews within a minute, or there were. So yeah, it's still an open competition.
Don't know what anybody else has done yet this morning, so yeah, we've been fairly clean on the regs and no dramas really. So, as you say, everything to play for this afternoon.
It's been fantastic. Had a few problems as usual. We don't have a starter motor, so we either have to try and park on the hill, as we have just done in the car park here, try and bump start it, or we have to arrange a tow.
Why don't we try and start it down here?
Suitably fed and watered, the crews left lunch for the final push to the line, but was there to be a sting in the tail? The sting came on the last regularity when Nac de Boren and Den Hartog misread the route and dropped out of contention. Crosby and Pullin had got to within 11 seconds of the leaders Lane and Crozier, but would it be enough to steal the win? The historic town of Chester marks the finish of the event, and a fair crowd had gathered to welcome the crews. The champagne flowed for winners Lane and Crozier as they crossed the line, narrowly hanging on to the win by 8 seconds after a 750-mile mammoth battle.
If you tell me at any point that when I finally did it, it would be the biggest road rally, Road Rally GB, the RAC, I'd all laughed you out of town. So it's been an awesome week. Just with this man, his patience has just been awesome. And yeah, it's just been an awesome event from Presto and Guy and everybody that's put everything together.
Amazing, absolutely unbelievable. Would never have thought that we could do it. And here we are, 8 seconds in it at the end.
We didn't think we'd get to the end, so I'm really chuffed to get second.
The final overall positions would have Andy Lane and Richard Crozier on top, Crosby and Pullin second, from John and Peter Dignan, who were ineligible for overall ranking, and Howard Warren and Ian Tully third. The Hero Cup for drivers has Paul Crosby taking over the lead from Stephen Owens, and still Andrew Durden ahead of Andy Pullin in the Golden Roma for navigators. Both championships will go down to the wire at the next round, Le Jog, in December. Tune in next time to see who picks up the silverware.